Hi guys and welcome to Thruzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What is in front of you is the 2024 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon that we're out test driving. This is one of the few models from Jeep India that is and Jeep worldwide as well that it is assembled in India after only the US market. So that is how important Jeep takes India as a market. This is the Wrangler only is made outside of US in the India, and that is serious commitment from the brand. Stellantis, of course, which owns Jeep, Citroen, and many other brands, is focusing on the Jeep brand very much. They've been rolling out a lot of updates every now and then, as soon as possible. The Wrangler here also is an update. We test drove it a couple of years ago. We were really impressed with it. The facelift continues with a lot of aspects that were there earlier, and now what has changed is very likely very much around the cosmetic part on the inside and outside, and certain changes when it comes to driving as well. So as always, let's begin with the design. You can see the 7-slat blackened out grille, the new headlamps with the projectors here with LEDs look great. That's the turn indicators right there. Typical Jeep bonnet, very muscular, done really right. You've got these vents here, and those auxiliary lamps are also on offer. I think they are accessories, and it's got a very butch front end. You've got this chassis very visible, the bumpers coming out, the huge tires and wheels here, 18-inch units which are fantastic, and these are tires that are primarily focused on off-roading. And on the side profile, everything else remains the same. You get the typical badging from Jeep, lot of Easter eggs. As you can see, there's the Jeep logo here, the Rubicon stickering, trail rated performance parts, authentic accessories, like I told you, all of them like this are here. And the side profile continues to be typically Wrangler, very Jeep in terms of its boxy layout, the small doors, the exposed hinges, and everything just looks really off-roader. This is what an off-roader is for the rest of the world to benchmark, and Jeep doesn't disappoint one bit. You've got this big spare wheel with the compass on the spare wheel cover. You've got the very uniquely placed reversing camera even today on this car. Typical tail lamps, very similar to the old version. Again, exposed hinges here, and at the back with its split personality of it's got a split tailgate as well. You've got quite a big boot here, and you've got charging points. This entire interior is washable with a hose, and this is just a part of it. And you've got some space here, and the sound system subwoofer is here by Alpine, which is on offer. Look at that massive strut bar. You know that the roof is openable, the doors can be hinged out quite quickly, so it is convertibles of convertibles, because you can remove the doors as well. Again, a look at the side of the car. Very muscular design, very big, very intimidating. Everybody just loves it on the road. The kind of two cars that we were driving today, both of them were catching attention. The Wrangler because of his size, and despite in this very lovely white shade, it seems to be just wooing people on the road. They give you the thumbs up, they really appreciate the car, they'll come and ask questions. And there are two variants on offer, the Rubicon and the Unlimited. We are riding the Rubicon here, so both these prices are 67 lakh rupees and 71 lakh rupees respectively. Powered seats are on offer. You get those lock buttons here, mirror adjustment is here, and the steering wheel pretty much remains the same as before. The dials also remain pretty much the same as before. Put your foot here, which is also a logo, as you can see. A lot of Easter eggs to catch. And let's get inside, holding the grab handle, and let's just start the car. So this is what the interior of the 2024 Jeep Wrangler looks like. It's got a similar steering as before. The dials are similar as before, but the brand new thing is this new screen which completely transforms the cabin dramatically. This is of course taken from the Compass in terms of the infotainment system, the UI and the UX, and this is a fantastic infotainment system. The sound system is good. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got the touch, the response, the fonts, colors, layout, everything is downright brilliant. Everything just works. What it has is heated seats and heated steering wheel, but no cooling, so I think the colder markets in India will enjoy this, but people like here in Bombay, who we are sweating right now at 39 degrees, are going to face a bit of an issue. So those are the sway bar button right there, off-road, auxiliary buttons. You've got the media units, and it had a cap on it, but it has come out, so that needs a bit of fixing. That's how you toggle between the child lock and the windows. You've got a 12-volt socket right here. So this whole part hasn't changed much, but only this part has changed, which I think is a fantastic way of doing the interior, keeping it as old school, as very classical, and as well as very much to its roots. At the same time, you get the screen which is round right brilliant. Everything just works just right. You've got a whole host of features in it, like I told you earlier. That is the gear lever in true tradition form for the 2 high, 4 low, neutral, and auto and part time both are on offer. Differential locks and sway bars and everything is on offer. You've got the cup holders here. Handbrake is still physical, surprisingly, but I think that's sort of needed for an off-roader like this. That's the kind of space you have. A charging port right there. Seats are quite big and comfortable. You've got the typical lock unlock noise, which is downright brilliant. You've got leather over here, and you can keep some stuff here, maybe mount a idle or something like that. IRVM is day and night, fully frameless, looks quite nice. These roof panels can be removed from here. Those are the levers for that. And you've got the cabin lights here, the speakers are here, and that is the kind of space you get at the back, which will let me just show you one bit in a minute. The door pads here also have just about enough space to keep some stuff. Like I told you, the doors are removable as well. At the back, behind mount driving position, how do I sit? Well, you get in like this. Tons of knee room, tons of leg room. Under thigh support is a bit lacking. Headroom is generous. AC vents, that's the window buttons, window controls, and the charging points are on offer. The nets are also here. Overall, this is quite a spacious and airy cabin. Definitely no getting hemmed in here for sure. And the plastic quality and everything is just about okay. There is leather and contrast stitching where it should be, but like I said, this interior is truly washable. You can just put a hose inside, get it as dirty as possible, and you can just clean it by putting a hose in it at full blast. So that's that. You've got some space here to keep something, but not at the front because that's hollow. So that is the difference between the front and rear. Seat adjustment is minimum. You don't have an under thigh support extendable or the back support, your lumbar support to be adjustable, but those are the features that are still missing. But it's got a great AC that's working really well in our conditions right now, and the Rubicon badging on the seats. Truly Jeep in every way. There's hardly any change. It remains a very solid car with a great interior. Let's see how it drives now. So we are out driving the Jeep Wrangler for the year 2024, and just like last time, I have mostly praises for this vehicle quite clearly, because I said it in my when the first time I rode the Wrangler, I said this is one of the only ladder on frame cars in the country, in fact globally as well to a certain extent, that drives on the road very well. There is very little flex from the chassis. It is very poised and composed. Even with a single person or with 5 people up board on the car, it doesn't really wallow around, jiggle around much, and that is speaks a lot. That speaks for the chassis capabilities on road and off road as well. Of course, it will have enough flex to deal with off road situations, but on the road it is really good. That is the most amount of time you and I are going to spend test driving this car, driving this car on a daily basis. Of course, I've done a bit of off-roading, but I can't find a location which is hardcore enough to truly test Jeep's off-road capability. That has already happened in the past couple of times. We've already told you that hardly big changes happen when it comes to off-road equipment that is on offer. Like I told you, differential locks and sway bars are on offer. The departure and approach angles are really impressive, and it is really noteworthy that the ride quality is fantastic. The steering also offers good feel and feedback, just about okay feel and feedback. It is light in the city, and that is the most important part, because driving in the city is no problem whatsoever. This car is really good once you get used to the size and dimensions of the car. I'm not saying it's a small key car or anything that you can go around, but once you get hang of the size and the dimensions, and when you see the steering is that light, you can make you can maneuver this car around with very little effort. There will be some effort after all. So that is me just clarifying things which you message me and tell me, so I'm just putting it out there. Secondly, I told you, the stability at high speed also is very good. Most important part, the engine, of course, made it to an automatic gearbox. This engine is the most powerful 2-liter petrol engine you will find in the country, because this is one of the few, of course. 270 brake horsepower from this engine is a very big number. Even luxury cars will offer you not more than, let's say, 230, 240 or 250. Nobody offers you 270. So on paper it becomes one of the most powerful 2-liter petrol engines in the market right now. And it has good drivability in the city. It has good mid-range and good top end as well. That engine can be used for off-roading as well. And I think that is the best part. And when you realize that it can do all these 3-4 things very easily, then it is an engine that is truly you know, worthy of praise. And even the refinement is spectacular on this car. You can hardly hear the engine inside the cabin. The gear shifts are smooth and fast. When it comes to upshifts, downshifts can be a bit slow. And that is what the Jeep Wrangler is all about. Of course, we will try and put a very specific off-road video for you guys, explaining a lot of things that will happen in some time. Right now, we know for a fact that there is no denying its monumental capabilities that it has of off-roading. And it is a great on-road vehicle as well. One of the best ladder-on frame cars you can drive on the road without any let's say, you won't be disappointed in any way in the way it drives on the road. Yes, the suspension can feel stiff at times over really broken roads, but once you pick up speed, and the way it gobbles up the roads, it doesn't transfer much inside the cabin. While the suspension is doing its job, you can notice it, but on the inside in the cabin, if a layman is sitting inside, wants comfort, he will definitely get comfort here. It is something that is really enjoyed at all speeds. And at certain speeds it's really comfortable. So that is the big highlight of the Wrangler for most people who are going to drive it on the road and then take it off road someday, which we will do as well. We'll put a different video on this. Until then, all I have to say is that Jeep India's commitment to making the car here in India, the focus on other products incoming and currently present, is something that is noteworthy. But they need to step up when it comes to offering a little bit more to their customers in terms of model range as well, because everybody just wants their own preferred vehicle. So that also should be in mind. With the Wrangler, they have given us the enthusiast vehicle, a choice for somebody who really looks forward to off-roaders and iconic cars like this. It's available as an option. The pricing could have been slightly more better than before, and but once you get this car, realize that this can do so much, and you can do it all on a daily basis as well if you want to. It becomes good value, if not great of value for your money. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. Goodbye. See you next time in the next video.